your time is going to take. There's nothing that is too much for him because he is precious.
Yes.
He's precious, and we have got to learn how to deal with precious things. Something is precious because of the value that's assigned to it. So who has more value? The perfume and the alabaster box, or Jesus?
Jesus.
And so, if Jesus has more value than the perfume, then Jesus is worthy to have the perfume thrown on him as a symbol of adoration and worship. But if you don't esteem Jesus to be precious, as obviously Judas did not think he was precious, if you don't have that love for Jesus in your heart and you see people trying to do something for him, then you will not get what all the commotion is about. In the church, which is the Church of Jesus Christ, this is the Church of Jesus Christ. Not of Latter-day Saints, mind you. And in the Church of Jesus Christ, there ought to be nothing that is deemed too costly, too time-consuming, too expensive for him. That ought to be our spirit. That when something needs to be done in the church that is going to require our time, our talents, our treasure, and yes, some trouble, we ought to say it's for Jesus and he's worthy.
Yes.
It is something precious. And we ought not withhold that which is rightfully his. He deserves it. When there is a ministry to be conducted in the church, God's people whose hearts are right will never say, oh, that is going to require too much time, or it's going to require too much of our treasure, or too much trouble to get it done. When there's something that needs to be done, God's people says he's worthy.
Yes.
Let's get on with it. Let's get together. Let us pool our resources and let us make it work. Because the recipient is worthy.
Amen.
Your local church, by the way, is a precious thing. You don't find churches like this one in every city.
Right.
It is something which is rare. A couple of years ago, a fellow was in our church, left and went to another city, went to another state, came back after a couple of years and said, I was looking for another church like Victory. I couldn't find one. I said, no, because it is rare. They're few and far between. And the reason why it is rare and few and far between, because the elements that make it what it is are rare and few and far between, just like gold or silver or platinum. And if you're looking for gold or silver and platinum, you're not going to find it on every street corner. Hello?
Yes.
Gold, silver, platinum, rubies, gemstones, emeralds, those things, you got to go excavate. You got to dig. You got to work.
Yes.
You got to go do some trouble, some sweating, some blood. Might be shed. Not to kill anybody, but from the workers. Because if you want something that is truly going to honor Christ, then you're going to have to put some labor and some time and some talents and some treasure into it.
Yes.
Because it is worthy. You see, we got to learn how to deal with precious things. This woman, Mary, learned how to deal with precious things. And she understood that a precious person is worthy to receive a precious thing being expended on him. So what made her gift precious? She took her own time. She took her own talents. She went through the trouble to get it. And it cost her a treasure because she deemed that he was worthy. Something is precious because of the value that's assigned to it. So if your friend, if your brother, your sister, if your church has value assigned to it, then it's precious. If you're married and your spouse has value assigned to him or her, then that person is precious. If you have kids and you've assigned value to them, then they're precious. You will never abuse them. As a matter of fact, you will never want anybody to even get close to abusing them. I remember when my daughter, my oldest daughter, Jennifer, when she turned 15, she began to look like a young woman. I said, what a precious little girl. Let me go get me a Mossberg 500. 12 gauge. Because she's precious. And Daddy was not going to allow anybody to take advantage of his precious little girl. Because she had a value assigned to her. Precious things are not to be wasted. Let's go back to the attitude of Judas there in John chapter 12. I want you to see this clearly in the Bible today. You don't want to miss this. John chapter 12 and verse 4. Then said one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which should betray. Why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? This he said, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief, and had the bag and bare what was put there. And you see, the Bible is not politically correct. Right? It called him what he was. You steal money, you're a thief. You kill people, you're a murderer.
Yes.
You tell lies, you're a liar. The Bible is very plain. No, he was a thief. Then, Jesus said, let her alone. Against the day of my burying had she kept us. The poor always you have with you, but me you have that always. Now what did he say? I am more precious than anybody else here in the room. Judas should have recognized this, that he was precious. He is thinking the woman is wasting a precious ointment that it could be used for something else. Jesus said, no, you don't get it. What she is doing is simply recognizing that I am going to die for her sins.
Yes. Yes.
Leave her alone. Let her do it. The value of what I'm going to do for her is more than what any other person in the world could ever do for her.
Uh-huh.
When you don't see Jesus like that, you will think that things that people do to honor him, to praise his name, the song that we sing, the money that we give, you start to think, oh, that's a waste. Because your heart is not right. I would rather have a heart that is more like Mary's heart than like Judas's heart.
Yes.
Because Judas was looking for an opportunity to betray Christ. You know that Judas never loved Jesus?
Yeah.
Judas never loved Jesus. Judas followed Jesus because he thought that the Lord Jesus Christ was going to institute a world kingdom. Beginning at Jerusalem, he thought that the Messiah was going to overthrow the Roman government and set up a kingdom, and he wanted to be a high official in the kingdom.
Yes.
That's all he was all about. When he heard that Jesus was going to go to the cross and be crucified, he said, that's not what I'm in this for. I'm not in this for no crucifixion. I'm in this for power. I don't want to suffer. I want power. I want wealth. And once he understood what Jesus was doing, that's what he decided, I'm going to betray him.
Right.
Because Jesus was not precious to him. But he was precious to Mary. And so he's thinking she's wasting it. She's wasting the ointment. Jesus said, no, she's not wasting it. She's using it properly. Which side of this argument are you on?
Amen.
Something is precious because of the value assigned to it. Precious things are not to be wasted, but they can be offered to someone who is worthy.
Yes.
So your praise is offered to someone that is worthy. Your gifts are offered to someone who is worthy. As a matter of fact, your life is precious. Offer it up to someone who is worthy. Offer your life to Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And you won't lose it. But keep it for yourself and offer it up to this world, and you'll ruin it. Young people, offer yourself to Jesus.
Amen.
He's worthy. And your life is a precious thing. All you young kids in here this morning, I look at you, I don't see you as a snotty-nosed kid that come on the bus. Though you may be one, but I don't see you. I see you as a precious thing.
Amen.
You two boys, stand up right here. You two boys, yes, you two, stand up right here. Stand up right here. Stand up and face the camera right here. I'm going to come down here with you. All right, you didn't think I could do that, did you? Come here, come over here. Wait, what is your name? Zarius?
Travis.
Travis. Now, tell me something. Is Jesus precious?
Yes.
Is he precious? So, your life is precious. Is your life precious? Is your life precious? Whose life is more precious, your life or Jesus' life?
Jesus.
So therefore, you should take your life and offer it to Jesus.
Right. Amen.
That's what we all need to do.
Yes.
That's right.
You take something that is precious, like that perfume, and you offer it to someone that is even more precious. That's Jesus. And if you do that, if you offer Jesus your life, he will take it. He will take your life. And he will use your life. And he will build your life. And he will build you into strong young men. Men of faith and wisdom and values. And then in a few more years, you'll be leading the basketball and Bible competition because you guys will got it. Right, thank you. That was
Yes.
all right, good job. Good job. I hope you see, you take something that is precious and you offer it to someone that is even more precious. That's your life. That's what that woman did. And so the perfume is symbolic of a Christian life. All that service that you do, Sister Smart, all those years that you taught Sunday school and took kids in your car and went all over this town to bring kids to Sunday school, that was your offering to Jesus, and he has rewarded you and is blessing you for that. I had one person said to me once, "You should have let your wife go to that part of town and bring somebody to church." I said, "What part of town? You mean the part of town where they have the nightly shootouts and the drunk?" I wouldn't allow. Well, then you don't understand the value of what we are doing here. Those souls that she is bringing, this, Brother Sermon, this was happening before we had a bus.
Right. Amen.
Those souls that she brought to church, many of them got saved. As a matter of fact, I was at a store a couple of months ago going through the cashier line, and this young girl said to me, "Hi, Pastor Smart." I said, "Hi, do I know you?" She's about 19 or 20 years of age now. She said, "Yes, your wife used to pick me and my sister up and bring us to Sunday school back there in the 1990s. And of course, I have not changed, but she has grown up. She was a little girl of maybe 7, 8, 9 years old. Now she's a young woman I said, I did not recognize you. And I gave her an invitation to come to church, but she remembered that
Amen.
Uh-huh.
because somebody understood.
Yes.
That is something precious.
Yes.
And you take something precious and you offer it to somebody who's even more precious.
Mm-hmm.
They will use it. And that's why what Mary did is recorded in the Bible. Because she understood the value of precious things. How to use precious things. What is the purpose for precious things? Remember, it's rare. And I'm sure that many of you in here this morning, you are also very rare. You're hard to find. I always say some of the sweetest, kindest, gentlest people are right here in this church. So I know that you are precious. You are rare.
Yes.
But you know what? Jesus is more precious than you.
Uh-huh.
So if we really want to be right, we've got to take whatever we have, no matter how much trouble it may cause us, how many trials, how many heartaches, how